Good morning. Welcome to Paisano TV. I'm your host, Omar Lopez, and today we have a very fun segment for you guys. We are going to be interviewing a candidate from the Whittier Union High School District, Josefina Canchola. Nice to meet you,
Nice to meet you,
Josefina.
Omar. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Can you please state what you're running for, what position you're going for, and, just overall?
So I'm the incumbent for the Whittier Union High School District for Area 3, and which encompasses Los Nietos, South Whittier, Norwalk, Santa Fe Springs. And I was appointed the first time around, so this is actually the first time that I've run for office.
Cool. Okay, so let's get started.
Okay.
First and foremost, tell us about yourself.
So above everything else, I'm an oldest child. I'm an immigrant to this country. I was born in Guadalajara. Came for the American dream, like many families, right? I'm a single parent of 3. I have 2 biological children, and I just adopted formally my youngest about 2 months ago. And I'm an educator. I've been in education for 40 years plus, and I'm just a Southern California woman. You know, I love my community, and that's basically what I'm about.
Right. If elected as trustee, how would you advocate for equity in your entire institution?
So number one, fighting for equity has been a lifelong passion of mine. Even when I was a student, I didn't realize that that's what it was, and that's the new terminology. But it was always trying to find opportunities, particularly for people like myself that are first generation, Latinos, or African American students, low income, that normally would not have an opportunity for higher education or would have more challenges towards achieving higher education and success. And so I have really, my whole life, I've really been trying to promote equity, trying to promote education opportunities for students, particularly underserved communities. And if I were to get elected to the position, and like I mentioned, I'm the current incumbent, I would continue to really try to support programs that were going to support our students, our demographics, which are many of them are first generation, college potentials, and to have a cultural twist to the way that we do education, so that students feel more at home, if you will, more supportive, and really be surrounded with academic and cultural support so that they can achieve. So.
Okay, interesting. What are some educational challenges you see students facing today, and how do you plan to address them?
So, and I must say that, I work for the Puente Project, which is a statewide program. I'm the director of secondary programs, so I oversee all the middle and high school programs across the state. And so my reference point is just not my local community. My reference point is California as a state, and in the state of our students in education. And so I still see the harsh impact of the COVID time. A lot of our students are struggling with mental health issues as a result or underlined with the COVID situation. And so that's a big issue for me. Like, I know that our students are emotionally struggling. And so I want to really continue emphasizing, putting in resources, support, trying new programs to really connect with our students and make sure that they have all the social emotional needs taken care of. Because if they're not whole in their spirit and in what's going on with their minds, they cannot be good scholars. So,
what does transparency mean to you as an elected official?
So transparency is that, as elected officials, as a district, we really have to make all the information accessible to our community, right? And so it's being able to see how we make decisions on budgets. What are the resources that we have available that we have to make policy decisions on in terms of how the money's utilized. As an elected official, I take it very serious that, that when I or we as a board are making decisions, that we try to do the best with that money, like we would in our own households, making sure that the money stretches, making sure that it's going to translate into quality education for our students, but also, keeping in mind all the different necessities of the student population and demographics that we serve.
Okay, cool. How do your values align with those of the institution?
So number one, I'm a very family-oriented individual. That's the way that I was raised, and as an institution, I think we see our students, we see our teachers and staff as part of the Whittier Union High School District community and familia.
Right.
And so they are the priority for us, right? Like in decision making, in terms of making sure that that we try to meet all of the necessary needs, not just for our scholars, but also for our staff and our teachers, to make sure that they have all the equipment, that they have all of the professional development training, to make sure they're going to be real solid educators so they can really support our students at all levels.
Right.
So.
And last question, what do you like to do on the weekends for fun?
So there's not much of that left,
Right.
because aside from serving on the Whittier Union High School District Board, I'm also the president of the UCR Alumni Association.
Oh.
I'm actually the first Latina to have that role, and the first Latina of any UC campus history to be a president of an alumni association. So if I'm not working on alumni work with UCR, I'm spending time with my kids. That's like a huge priority for me, and my parents, who are getting a little bit older, and I don't take it for granted that I still have them with me.
Right.
But I enjoy writing a lot. So I actually, when I was in college, I actually had several poems that were published, and so I still enjoy writing a lot, and then when I just want to not think about anything that has to do with work or with the kids, I like to watch TikToks sometimes,
Right.
just to kind of allow my brain to just pause, because my brain's always going and thinking, and I've always functioned that way. So when I don't want to, think too deeply about what's going on in politics or in our community, it's a good way to just enjoy. And I like, I go to church every Sunday, and for me, it's a way to fill my heart and my spirit.
Right.
And so that's like one of the things that I really enjoy doing. And with my children, I like to connect them to nature.
Oh, okay.
So we go to the mountains a lot, just to go to the river or to the ocean. Those are the kind of things I like to do on the weekends.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Well, thank you. Do you have any last comments or anything you'd like to say?
I think the only thing that I would add on in terms of who I am, like I mentioned, I have 40 years of experience as an educator. I worked in the K-12 system. I used to work for Riverside Unified School District. I worked for the University of California system for 36 years, and almost 25 of which have been with the Puente Project. So I don't come as a politician per se. I'm coming and trying to get back on the board as an educator with the lens of as an expert in education. I've had to manage huge budgets, $3 million budgets plus.
Right.
I run a staff, statewide staff. So all of those experiences and working with parents and the community as a community leader, all of those things I think are very valuable experiences and assets that I could bring into the trustee position. And in addition, I've been in the trustee for an appointed trustee, but a trustee for the last year and a half.
Right.
So I now also have that experience under my belt. So.
Gotcha. Well, thank you. It was a pleasure having you on, and best of luck to you in November.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you.